See if you get my joke. I'm taking you into custody. Hello everybody, I hope you're well. Today we are doing one of the most requested giant foods ever, and it's a nostalgic British treat. This is a packet, or was a packet, of custard cream biscuits. Probably in the top 5 biscuits or cookies here in the UK. Very nostalgic, retro. It's super nice with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and they are sensational. Essentially, a custard flavoured biscuit. There's custard in the biscuit, and there's custard in the filling. Mwah. Actually ended up ripping open the bag then. But this is what a custard cream is. In fact, I bought this packet because I have a tennis match tonight and it's my turn to buy the halftime snacks. I thought, oh, custard creams. Might have to take the giant one now. But look, let's some of you that don't seen this before, does that make sense? Let's analyse it, come a bit closer. All right, so there we go, nice and close. This is what a custard cream looks like. So you've got basically 2 biscuits wedged together, and in the middle there is like a yellow custard, actually it's a buttercream filling, which wedges these custard flavoured biscuits, and then it's got this detail on the front there, custard cream. You see that? I've got to try and do that. I've got to try and create that as much as possible. So it's actually, at the moment, quite a hot day in the kitchen, and for the first time, this is what I really didn't want today, because the dough for a custard cream is really temperamental. It's a bit like a wobbly Play-Doh. You want it firm, so the minute you bake it, it holds that shape, and in particular, that detail and design. So we're gonna do our best. So if you are gonna make this at home, just get the biggest 2 baking trays, identical size you can, and we'll start by making the dough. Alright, so we are going to get ourselves a big old bowl first of all. This is some caster sugar. I'm actually doubling for each biscuit the standard recipe, which would make about 15 to 16 custard creams anyway. This is 450 grams. You can see it's a little bit softened there. Boom, because I softened it in the microwave. And all I'm going to do is just beat that together so the sugar is absorbed into the butter. Okay, that's way more fun than I thought it'd be. But if you want, you can use a food processor. Boom. So yeah, that is a little bit like wet and droopy at the moment, but now we're gonna really chuck some stuff in to flavour it and then thicken it. A lot of flour. If it wasn't for the flour and the custard powder, this thing would just be a blob. It could still happen, I'm not gonna rule that out. So 2 more wet things going in, a little bit of milk and a good lug of vanilla extract, about a tablespoon. In comes an absolute mountain of flour. This is 640 grams. And for those of you that know my kitchen that well, in fact, lots of you do know my kitchen that well, I need to weigh out my custard powder because I need to do my scales. This is my scale thing. We want a whopping 250 grams. Oh my gosh, I nailed it, look. Wait a minute, I think this is gonna be arrested because it's going into custody. We are just mixing this through carefully. There is some moisture in there still. It's clinging. It's starting to go, hey, how you doing? I'm Mr. Biscuit. Now this dough doesn't have any self-raising flour, baking agents, any stuff like that. It tends to, once you get a chill on it, stay the same. So as we put it into the tin, it should hopefully be what it'll ultimately come out like. But we need to, you can see how it's starting to form now. We need to keep going. It's getting to the point now where it's bonded together a little bit, but we can get it on our hands and feel as one with our custard cream dough. Yeah, there we go. By kneading it, we're gonna get a nice smooth dough. Right, I am fairly happy with that giant ball of custardy dough. I've got a lined baking tray, the biggest baking tray I can fit in my oven behind me here. Let's get this onto there. I don't even know if this is gonna be enough, but the thing I'm doing first of all, I'm just gonna get it on and press it out with my hands. Right? He's a bit out of shot, but he's I think he's enjoying himself. I would use a rolling pin, but because of the grooves, it's a high-raised pan, it will just like pop over it. It'll just be like rolling the tin. Ah! Ooh, have we got a baby one, like a Play-Doh one? Oh no, a glass. Yes. That's what I'll do. I'll flour a glass and then roll it like this. There we go. That's actually kind of working. Absolutely loving the colour of it, but then again we did put like almost a ton of custard powder into it. I can't believe that big old slab that looks so chunky and rough and it wasn't gonna fit. We've now spread it out just using that glass. So like I say, we're gonna chip, this is gonna be our bottom layer. I'm gonna do the design just on the top side, but a proper custard cream has it on both sides. I want it to have a nice even butt to lay on. This will be the butt, but we're gonna chill it first, and I've gotta do the same all over again. Nice. All right, I've been a busy bee. I have made 3 batches of that dough now. 2 in the trays down there, and right in my very crammed fridge today, you can see another batch right up there, because that is got to be chilled so that I can roll it out easier and stamp the designs to spell out custard cream and all the other stuff, which might be a little bit tricky, but we can do the bottom bit first of all, because that's been in there for ages. I'm gonna get my oven going, and we'll just see what happens. Right, mate? Yeah. Have you been licking some of my crumbs? Oven's ready. Right, let's get the first one in. There's only one way to find out. Oh my gosh, that's so heavy. Is it gonna fit? Oh, just. All right, in it goes. Only 10 minutes. Woo! So we're praying that by chilling it like that, it's not gonna change the shape too much. But remember, this is just gonna be our bottom, so it doesn't matter too much if it goes crazy, but this will give us a good indication. As that's only going to take 10 minutes, I'm starting to think now about this lettering. I think with the spare dough, what I'm going to do is roll it out into like little straws or worms or like just strip shapes, so I can then bend them to make it into this, and also the lettering. It could do the lettering pretty good. I don't know. Generally don't know. So what I'm going to do is use the custard cream. This is taken out of the fridge now. It's kind of chilled, and I'm going to make some like fairly light indentations in it, but it doesn't matter because it'll get covered anyway. Right, you probably can't see much there. On the camera screen I'm looking at now, I'm trying to see, can you see anything? It's blending in, but for me, I have written out custard cream there and done the triangle. The patterns, I'm just gonna try and wing that as best I can, but apologies if you can't see anything. I think that will help me. I'm just basically waiting for that first biscuit to be done. You don't even wanna brown it, you just wanna cook it so it's just kind of still cooked, but softened still, and it'll firm as it cools. See, there's method to my madness. I've just rolled out a little sausage, and there is my C. You see? Wow, that is a big biscuit. So whilst that's been finishing off, look, you can start to see that it's coming together. Mate, we're doing it. Stop following me. All right, you're licking crumbs. I gotta be honest, really happy with that. But of course it all comes down to if it's gonna hold its shape. Been doing little designs. This one's cooling down. Yeah. All right, so I'm just putting down this last little hook thing. M's with a spike sticking out, some little J's on the end of those curls all the way around. And I don't know if it's bang on, but to me, that looks blooming awesome. So this now for me is really the moment of truth. That's taken me about 40 minutes to do all of that. So it's got to room temperature. I'm sticking it back in the fridge for another half an hour to really cling that, because once I bake it, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen to it. So really, really fingers crossed they'll hold its shape. Ah. Have a look in the fridge. Check this out. This is what's about to go in the oven.
Oh wow!
Does that look good?
That looks really good.
Do you think it's going to work when I bake it?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm scared. All right, let's do this. What are we thinking? Is this going to work? I love how Mrs. Barry's just sat there nibbling on her lunch. Oh, let's get it in. Come on. Ah, fingers crossed, come on. Becky, news update. It's holding its shape.
Good.
It is indeed holding its shape. That is about 10 minutes in. I'm pushing it a little longer than that. Very, very happy so far. That has been 22 minutes exactly. Mrs. Barry's gone back to work. I've got it out of the oven. You want to see something cool? Check that out. How cool does that look? Speaking of cool, that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to let this cool down because it still feels soft. But once it does cool like that one down there, it goes rock hard. And that's, well, not rock hard, but hard. And that's what we want it to be. And that's deliberately why I've put off making the buttercream until now. Yeah, basically I know what I'm like. If I made the buttercream already and that came out, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's still hot, but it'll be all right. And the buttercream would just meh. Make sure it's both cooled before putting your buttercream in because it will just melt it. Okay. Right, so to make the buttercream, in here is 1 kilo of icing sugar, aka confectioner sugar. Already put it in there because if I put it on camera, I'm gonna add some vanilla extract. We might have had enough custard already. Oh no, this is 4 tablespoons of that custard powder. And last but not least, this is some part melted butter. Oh, good gosh. It's only by making something at this scale, just by doubling up a recipe, that you suddenly realize how bad for you biscuits are. Not that you're eating this much, but it's all about, you know, it's all relative. Oh my gosh, it's going everywhere. Oh, sorry, Boston, I'll just get some on your face, mate. So get this through till it's nice and smooth. All right, so let's now bring this together. This is the first biscuit that was baked, and it is now so cold, which hopefully means it's nice and firm. So I'm gonna try and get this out. Okay. Hopefully it will lift off. Yes! Ah. Oh, it's got a bit of bend in it. Oh gosh. Do you know what? This will be the side that I frost, because then I'll have a firmer outer edge. This is just, I just don't want to move it. Yeah. Right. So the plan is to turn the top one, this one, out onto the other baking tray, then back on the other one so we can slide it onto the top. And then back onto this one. Oh. God, it feels a bit delicate. I don't want to break it. Oh my gosh, yes! It just went for it. Ah, look at that. Yes. Just join this together, wipe that off excess like that. Ah. This is a really good time for the door to go, huh? Turns out it was just a delivery. Actually, a new gadget for me to review, but there we go. It's all wedged in there. I love that. I've just put some more just around the edge there. I'm going to leave that for about 20 minutes for it to firm up and set, and maybe we'll take a bite out of it. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Boston, do you like it? Huh? I'll take that as a yes. What you just saw is me putting that down because I just held it for the thumbnail because I wanted it to look like a strong custard cream. The dough is weak. I don't know if I'm going to hold it without the board there. Oh, oh yes I can, just. It's going to break. It's actually going to break. But look at that filling. It's going to break. And I've got billions of people that are already texting me saying, I want some of that. It ain't going to go to waste, but I've got to test it. Look at that! It was too hard for me to carry that and the standard size one at the same time, but just for comparison, that's just that little wedge. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh. I have been arrested. I am in custody. That is an absolute stonker. It is just rammed. It's literally just eating a bowl of custard in biscuit form. There's so much custard powder in there. I'm so glad that the colour kind of came back after we baked it. It was pretty bright when we first put it in, but it's kind of calmed down. And that is sensational. I'm not dunking it in a cup of tea because I don't like tea. I'm not dunking it in a cup of coffee because I already did that with a Tim Tam Slam and that's horrendous. Check out the Giant Food playlist, have a marathon now. If it's someone you know's birthday coming up and they love custard creams, don't make them a birthday cake, make them one of these. Honestly, it's really, really good. Bye.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
Kids are back from school. All right, Phoebes?
Yeah.
All right, Chloe?
Yeah, even though we're still cutting into it, I don't want to even cut it because you put a lot of effort into it.
I have put a lot of effort into that. Thank you, mate.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Oh, really? You gone straight for it?
Sorry, Phoebes, I'm coming.
All right, so this is a bit of a bonus scene. But when I put a little picture out on social media a minute ago, everyone's like, you've got to have a big mug to dunk that in. And I suggested that earlier in the video. I was like, hey, I did that before with a giant Tim Tam Slam. Didn't go down very well, and I don't know if I can even lift this, but I've made a big coffee anyway.
That tastes just like it.
Thank you.
Just like this one.
Does it?
It does. Why don't you just take a bit of it?
I'm going to just try and get it up. Here.
No!
Oh, there you go. A big old piece of custard cream.
That is a giant custard cream in itself.
Is it? Thanks.
Yes.
In there.
Oh, quick, it's gonna fall.
In the wild, the pack of female Lewis's forage on the remains of a giant custard cream.